I haven't been working out at the big house for almost a week because I had a bunch of real estate stuff going on, and then it rained, and then I hurt my foot. But check out the color. It's very nice.
This is what happens when you don't do it right.
So how are you gonna fix this? What needs to be done to fix it?
We gotta rip it all apart and put it back together right.
Gotta rip it all apart and put it back together right. And this deck, which is a beautiful deck, was bolted on from the inside, which means...
And covered with spray foam.
And covered with spray foam, which means all the foam has to come out. The bolts have to be dug out, has to be unbolted. Because there's so much damage from the water that the sills that everything rests on are damaged. Studs are damaged. So the wrong way that a lot of people would do is they would come in, they would pull this off, they would throw new sheathing up, throw some siding up, and call it good, knowing that you probably wouldn't, see any more damage occurring for a number of years because a lot of the water damage happens behind the scenes. That would be the wrong way to do it. So we got to do it the right way. It's going to be a lot of work. But this is an amazing house and amazing clients, and we'll make sure it's done right for them. But it's bad.
So do yourself a favor. If you're going to have work done, make sure you get somebody that knows what they're doing. My pa taught me this way isn't always the right way. Like, you have to stay current with building.
Like Randy was saying, and he made a great point, some of the work on this house was done really well, but the windows were all installed correctly, and windows come with instructions. Like, you just have to read and follow the installation instructions, and they did the opposite.
And if you're not sure, the manufacturer can take a phone call. They're happy to help. They don't want bad reviews associated with their windows because of a faulty install. Like, it's laziness. Like, so the DIYers, right? If you're doing a DIY project, inform yourself before you start. These shows that they have on HGTV and all this other Nat Geo and that shows you how to flip, right? First time flippers and all these other shows that are out there. Just remember, that's all edited to fit into 30 minutes or an hour. It's not that easy. So make sure that you're informed before you get into a project. So otherwise you're going to have 2 to 3 times the expenses on the backside trying to fix after you've already done the install.
Or, folks are just going to hide it. We saw a lot of that when we were in Vegas. Probably 80% of the flips in Vegas were crap. They would do the shoddiest job, cheapest, fastest possible, and just hide it behind lipstick. So the poor buyer, 3, 4, 5 years in, totally unsuspecting, has issues like this.
For us, it's an ethical issue, right? So if you're doing a house renovation that you intend to flip, or you're doing a renovation that you intend to turn the property in a couple of years, you got to realize your consumer, the person that your end consumer that you're marketing to, the person that's going to buy your house, they've probably got little kids. They're putting all their life savings into getting into a home. You can't do them dirty, right? They can't afford $20,000, $30,000 to re-side a house or to fix plumbing issues that are behind the wall because it wasn't done correctly. Like, it's an ethics issue, right? Do the right thing, even when nobody is watching. You just got to make sure you're doing the right thing. Off my soapbox.
Day 3 of the exterior demo on this big house. That's a window header. That's no bueno.
Yeah, that's not shading.
Yeah. Where?
That was a 2 by something.
Here's the best thing about where we are in this project today. The weather is supposed to be clear and in the 80s all this week. And we got new sheathing coming in tomorrow. And lumber. So we went ahead and pulled all of the drywall down at the bottom just to make sure there's no mold or any funkiness happening on this side, because this is spray foam insulation, so you can't just pull it out, take a peek, and stick it back in. And then on the other side, the sheathing will have to come off. So right, obviously you see with that much damage, we just want to make sure there's no mold on the inside. A lot of these, once the sheathing comes off, a lot of these studs are going to have to be replaced. There's some other issues. The deck was not affixed to the house in a way that makes it easy to make any of these repairs. And in fact, the way that it was put on has caused quite a bit of the water damage underneath. So at some point, this big, beautiful deck, this is like a 60 by 20 deck, it's going to have to be pulled back off of the house so we can get in and get everything fixed. So it's turned out to be a much bigger project than any of us thought. Feel super bad for the homeowners because they're awesome people and it's just rough. And I know I say that all the time and you're probably like, so if the homeowners were jerks, would you not feel bad? Well, I wouldn't feel as bad. I'm just keeping it real. You know. But I tell you what, I say this every day. I say it to the homeowners every day. Randy and I say it to each other. Once it gets fixed, man, is it going to be phenomenal. This is probably the last progress report I'm going to do until we really get moving on into the rebuilding phase. We've had some rain, so everything had to be sectioned off. You can see down at the bottom there what we're dealing with. It's very not good. So we've had some rain, so we still have some plastic up, but here's a pretty good update of what's going on. So windows are out. So let's just really see, you know, how much damage we really have, which there's a lot. And the way they attached the deck when they built the house was they just attached it to the individual rafters. And so we've had to go back in and put blocking in between each rafter. Then we'll have to pull the deck back, get in there, fix everything, put it all back together. So this will probably be my last video until we really start putting things back together. Just wanted to give a progress update since I haven't been here for a few days. Guys are working super hard. Okay, so this is upstairs on the big house project. All the windows are gone. It's kind of amazing how little wood really holds everything together whenever the windows are taken out. Big windows are still in. They will have to come out. We're just focusing on the bottom of the house first. And here's that blocking again from this side. They've had to put in. And then reinforcing all of the rotten joists. And then the blocks that you see here, those are actually to screw the fresh subfloor in. It's been a big project and it still has a long way to go, but I did just want to give an update. Yeah. These are the kind of fun projects we're working on. If you saw, we're hiring. If you're interested in this kind of work, you know how to do this kind of work, you're looking to relocate to the Ozarks, hit us up.